Currently live in Emporium in the Philippines. I want to say magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat, and for the people in the US watching this live at the Emporium, good evening everybody. Thank you for taking the time to at least check it out, check us out. Emporium is a unique US based, the first of its kind, the first of its kind. It's a Philippine made and inspired product showroom and global business center, and its purpose is to create awareness as well as sales opportunities for Philippine-made products, services, and investments in the U.S. market. And Emporium is actually a physical place. Like I said, that's where I'm at right now. It's located at 3250 Wilshire Boulevard, number 602 in Los Angeles, California. So if you want to come and visit, please do so. We welcome you. Just go ahead and let us know when you're coming. Thank you. But what the Live Emporium is, this is one of the tools that we use to create the awareness, the sales opportunities by people watching, and hopefully organically, or what we're doing on social media is reaching other people. And I think it is. At the end of the day, what we want is that awareness creation. Okay, so that's what Live at the Emporium is. And today it is packed full of amazing stuff. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to be back here at Live at the Emporium. And for those who have not heard of Emporium, I will tell you a little bit about later, or just in a brief moment. I just want to wish everyone who is watching this live stream in the Philippines as well as in the US. So I want to go ahead and say magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat sa Pilipinas, and in the US, good afternoon or good evening. I just want to go ahead and make sure I acknowledge everyone who's been supporting heavily, been watching in the Philippines especially, and also the people that have been following Emporium here in the US. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. And I hope everything is going well. I just want to make sure that everything is going well with the controls here. But I just want to wish everyone a happy New Year, and hopefully everything is going well so far. And for those who've never heard of Live at the Emporium, or Emporium, I should say, let me go ahead and briefly talk about that. Emporium is the first ever US-based, Philippine-made product inspired showroom and global business center. Its purpose is really to create awareness and sales opportunities, and also in the way nurture and help support Philippine manufacturers understand the U.S. market. And that's what its main purpose in what we're doing here at the Emporium. And Live at the Emporium is, you could say that that's the tool that we use to create this education, this elevation, this empowerment of Philippine products in the U.S. market. And what we want to do is make sure that we try to create awareness for Philippine products, investments, and services in the Philippines. In the U.S. market. So we're excited that you guys are tuning in, and hopefully that you'll be excited as much as I am in our special edition today. It's a special edition. We normally do live demos, and by the way, that's tomorrow. So stay tuned tomorrow at the same time. But today's edition, or today's episode, it's what we call a special edition. The title of the segment, it's called Why Developing More Philippine-Based Entrepreneurs is the Key to Philippines Progress. Let me repeat that, because sometimes people don't get that right away. Why developing more Philippine-based entrepreneurs is the key to Philippine progress. And for me to discuss this, and for someone that means the person that's going to help me discuss this and maybe even provide some solution on how to do that. Okay, I'm excited. I've known this gentleman for a while. So let me get to the point who this gentleman is. He's currently in the Philippines. He's ready to go into another Zoom or live stream in about maybe an hour. So we want to get to the meat of everything that we want to discuss. Let me just introduce him. His name is he is the founder and CEO of the Global Academy in New Zealand. He's the CEO and president of the Petalver Management Consultant Services. He's the president of E.G. Petalver Training Services. He's a former program director for Ateneo Center for Continuing Education, former dean for Brown and Proud Academy, the founder of the Sales Champ Network Academy, the book author of Seesaw Shell, and lastly, MBA for me. Obviously, this gentleman, I had to tell you all about who he is, but honestly, he's just a really great guy, very smart, very articulate in trying to get, and has a lot of amazing ideas on how to be an entrepreneur. So I think I couldn't think of any other person to really explain what needs to be done and how to develop Philippine manufacturers, or rather Philippine entrepreneurs, to elevate the Philippines. So let me go ahead and bring him on. His name is Coach John Petalver of the Academy.
Hi everyone.
John,
Hi, Bong. Hi, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you fine, my friend. I mean, I want to be formal, but I definitely, you and I know each other, so let's do this interview in the most casual way that we can
Sure.
possibly do it, right? So again, I introduced you, a long list of
Uh,
accomplishment. So now I want to go ahead and say, hey, tell me all about yourself. Let me go ahead and let you tell a little bit about yourself, and then as well as all your accomplishments I just mentioned.
thank you, Bong. I really feel, like I thank you for inviting me, and happiest and healthiest year ahead, right? And I'd like to again welcome everyone, especially yung ating mga kababayan. I know a lot of people are watching, a lot of our kababayan. So magandang umaga po, magandang hapon, tanghali at gabi, no, saan mang sulok ng mundo. So ako po si Jonathan Petalver, Coach John as they call me, no. And I founded this academy called The Academy. So it's a training hub for entrepreneurship, because you see there's a big gap of entrepreneurs in the Philippines. That's why I was like privileged to have this topic today, and I hope if you have questions, now you are watching live today, or if you are watching the replay of this session, you can ask questions. You can ask me for consultation if you are planning to start up or set up a business here in the Philippines, or actually anywhere in the world, because we are now on a new digital economy. So I've been doing this for more than 2 decades now, and I design learning programs for universities, for companies, but most especially the heart of Coach John really is to bring to the grassroots, Bong, no? To bring to the grassroots our itong tinatawag na creative entrepreneurship program. So we have started during the pandemic, and yeah, God is good because we were able to influence or somehow enabled and empowered 5,000 enrollees all over the world. And yeah, this is what we would like to bring in to everyone right now, that if you are living, especially outside the Philippines, there are really a lot of things that you can do, but especially we can start with really providing and transforming the mindsets of our kababayan. So, Bong, this is basically what we do, and we are so focused this year to really reach out as many kababayans as possible, because, yeah, we have already the proof of concept. At first, Bong, we are trying to get the traction, because we don't know if this will be accepted. Number one, the online learning, that's one. And number two, of course, the topic is about entrepreneurship, because for all we know, uh, Filipinos, especially us here in the Philippines, we are educated for what, almost 20 years to really work hard. I mean, study hard so that you'll have a nice job, right? But the good thing about this is we are starting on the grassroots, and we are really changing mindsets of students becoming studentpreneurs, right? We are changing mindsets of professionals to become professionalpreneur, employeepreneurs, for that matter.
I know that you've been doing what you're doing, John, for the longest time. Alam ko na talagang dedicated ka na gawin yung talagang mag-develop ng mga entrepreneurs, because yung
Correct.
topic talaga natin ngayon, it's really about how do you elevate the Philippines, whether it be the industry, the people itself, yung mindset. Ikaw, marami kang alam in terms of different industry, ano? Pero at
Yeah,
the end of the day, lahat yan nagsisimula basically on the mindset. Yan ang tinuturo mo sa
yes,
mga
correct.
estudyante mo, right? All the people that you teach all day long are that. That's what you do. I mean, you're very well versed in all the different industry. You create
Correct.
strategies and things of that
Correct. You
nature,
see,
right?
you see, Bong, you nailed the you you really hit the nail on the head. Why? Because when you talk about entrepreneurship, that's why I call it creative entrepreneurship. It's not just entrepreneurship. That's why it starts with the mindset. Because even as a student, right? Just imagine if the student already has that kind of entrep mindset. That's one. Let's say if you're an employee and then you already have that kind of mindset in the workplace, the entrep mindset in the workplace. Because Bong, I don't know if you'll agree with me, not everyone will be called to really do business. Because you see, there's a big difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. You see, businessman already handles businesses, right? They have the profit and loss, they have to present this to the board, But as an entrepreneur, it starts with the mindset that, hey, let's say even if I am an employer, but I have this kind of entrep mindset, understanding, the reason why we brand this company, why we market it this way, why we sell it this way. I think that's also one way that you can generate more income because the road to promotion is easier. Because you see, there's a case that we had, the last few months, and we call it the CEO mindset, becoming entrep leaders in the workplace, Bong. And CEOs like this because right now, they can give their employees the kind of mindset that they have. Because you see, now that we have this digital economy, CEOs are looking for employees right now or business partners in the workplace who thinks, who feels, and who does things the way they do things. So that's really the mission of the academy. It's a training hub for entrepreneurship, but everything starts with the right mindset. Whether you are a student, whether you are a professional, an employee, a startup company, a retiree, that's why we provided them uh, masterclass programs on really, like, check this out, then hear us out, attend the program anytime, anywhere, use your iPad or your iPhones or your phones for that matter, and see on rate yourself and see on which level you are, because I believe, Bong, each one has that kind of entrep mindset for sure.
Oh
Classic,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
classic
yeah.
example. Just imagine you thought of something and then sooner or later you saw it in a commercial. Filipinos are like that. Oh, I was the one who thought about that. How come? Yeah, because you have that great idea. It just so happens that it's your entrep mindset that is within you has not been activated yet. So
Mhm.
just imagine those opportunities that you miss.
No, I completely agree with you. You and I have been talking back and forth in the 2 years, 3 years that we've known each other. You've been asked by DTI and some other
Yeah.
really amazing companies globally to speak about the whole mind, the whole entrepreneurial mindset. And that's what I can't wait to discuss with you now that we
Mhm.
know a little bit about you. Ngayon gusto kong mag-usap tayo diskusyonan when it comes to the statistics on why the title of our segment is called Why Developing More Philippine-Based Entrepreneurs is the Key to Philippine Progress. Let's talk about that more, in the next segment, because importante, you have a lot of knowledge why that is so critical in this day and age in terms of how it is readily starting to be more accepted, because obviously we're Filipinos. When I was growing up, entrepreneurship was not even a big deal, or rather wasn't in
Correct.
the radar. You go to your traditional education and things of that nature. It hasn't Nothing's changed to a certain degree. There's still that, but now there's more desire to want to do that and create alternatives. So let's discuss that. Ang gagawin ko, pupunta tayo sa commercial muna,
Sure.
30 second, and then reset ourselves and let's discuss that. Let's discuss why developing more Philippine entrepreneurs is more important and what are the statistics. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a quick break and then we'll come back and discuss that.
Born from our humble home and our desire to share true natural freshness with you, Lemon-Cito Concentrate with honey is the best there is. Rich in vitamin C, Lemon-Cito reinvents your mom's favorite tonic for a cold or sore throat into a delicious and nutritious drink. No additives, no artificial flavors, no preservatives, 100% natural. Lemon-Cito, deliciously nutritious.
Okay, so we're back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the supporters of the Emporium, Lemoncito. Thank you so much, Zingman Enterprises, for always a supporter of the Emporium concept as well as Live at the Emporium. So now we're back. We are currently talking with Coach John of the Academy. and he's talked a little bit about his background. But now we want to talk about that title, the title. Let's explain in detail and how we can answer that question or discuss that topic of why developing more Philippine-based entrepreneurs is the key to Philippines' progress. Right now, based on my research, John, there was a research
Sure.
that was done by a think tank or research company called Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. This
Correct.
was an old, I'm sure the numbers have gotten up, but what I found interesting is my research says that Philippines, in terms of early stage entrepreneurship, led the way in Asian countries of getting things
Yeah.
started and trying to be an
Yes.
entrepreneur. So why don't we start with that, and I'll let you discuss all that and give me your perspective on why that is.
Correct. Basically, Bong, and to our listeners right now, remember here in the Philippines, there are different types of companies that you can incorporate, right? Number one, sole proprietorship, right? DTI is there to support us, register your company, and be an entrepreneur or start your business right away. Then there's what you call the corporations, right? If you can partner with, let's say, four or more people, and then you can incorporate that with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, this is the interesting part, mga kababayan, ano? Since I've been here in the Philippines, living here in the Philippines for decades, and I've seen that because when I learned that uh, there's a big gap in the micro entrepreneurs and small enterprises. That's why DTI is really supportive, right? They have the different kinds of program. The last program that they had is the P3 program, right? They provide funds for not even small enterprises. They provide programs for the micro entrepreneurs because you see, micro entrepreneurs, as defined here in the Philippines, these are businesses offering products or services with a gross revenue of say 3 million pesos. And my God, like 3 million pesos is 250,000 pesos a month. So that is where the academy is focusing in or zeroing in on really supporting them. On top of the government supporting them is in our own little way as a private company, as as passionate educators as we are, we would like to focus more on those micro entrepreneurs. And who are these micro entrepreneurs? This could be students, this could be retirees, or this could be professionals, self-employed, or this could be like the traditional direct sellers or online drop shippers and all who are doing business right away. These are the people, the millions, based on the data that we gather, there are what? Uh, a number, millions really, of micro entrepreneurs. And these are those that we would like to support because they go into business. Of course, they have the gut feel that this will be successful. But we are here, uh, a simple and easy to learn, but a lifetime to master approach, a framework, very palatable, for them to understand step by step what entrepreneurship is all about. What entrepreneurship is all about. And the difference of what we do basically is we zero in on you as the entrepreneur, you as the brand, because you see there will be a lot of educational programs or learning programs that you can attend to, but you have to understand the brand here is you. That's why we call it creative, because we want to create a brand in you. Later on, as Bong shared, as Bong will share us the deck that I have provided, I'll just share with you there what's the difference between, or why creative entrepreneurship. So again, to our kababayans, we are focusing on basically our goal in the next 2 to 3 years is just really equipping the micro entrepreneurs. The micro entrepreneurs, we're not even thinking of those small entrepreneurs, because small businesses, as recorded by DTI, are those earning like $300,000 per year or 15 million pesos a year. That's the category. So we just focus on micro entrepreneurs. Like the those selling, let's say, fish balls in the street. We want to really educate them so that they will understand. Oh, what I've been doing in the past is called branding, or what we've been doing in the past is called marketing. What for sure, Bang, you agree with me, right? It's really about, it's not education. I mean, it's really on learning. Learning. It's not really the school per se, but it's really the type of learning tool. If I may add that you just have to master. Because sometimes, that's why you're called master, right? You just master a certain niche, you're the expert, and just focus on that. And that's the thing that we would like to unleash or to transform our kababayans. So yun lang, Bong. We were focused on micro entrepreneurs.
I think obviously you have to start at some level, and that's not a bad place to start, because yung ang ginagawa mo para bang you're planting the seeds. And to me, what excites me based on the research that I read, sabi dito sa Global Monitor, I mean Entrepreneurship Monitor, sabi nila nearly half of all Filipinos have a very positive view of the entrepreneurial opportunities in their country. Further, 66% believe they have the entrepreneurial capabilities to start a business. So the spirit of entrepreneurial is there. But whether all the resources to be a successful entrepreneur is being put there, that's the key. And I think as a society, especially in the Philippines, that's the one that needs to technically be really nurtured. Kasi nga, maraming gustong, gumawang ng business. They want to do a lot of business. So that's why I think that's where the opportunity for all either government institutions, private organizations to really do that, because it may, it, it, it helps the entire economy. It helps the entire company country, if they can put all the resources together. It benefits everybody in the long run, hindi ba?
And this is the key thing, because our topic today is, Coach John, how it help the Philippine economy or, di ba, progress? Simple lang eh. Sabi ko nga, 1 milyong micro-entrepreneurs. Just imagine this, mga kababayan. Kung tingin mo dito sa Pilipinas, 1 milyon. Kasi ang core of what we teach is yung sa dulo, mag-develop sila ng one-page business plan. And ang impactful kasi doon is yung taxation. We teach them how to really give back to the nation. Kasi I'm not saying they're not paying. Tingnan mo to, bro. Let's say magbabalot or magtataho. Guys, they're earning much. Pero somehow, in our own little way, we want to have the government to really... Kasi they're not paying... I'm not saying they're not paying taxes, but they're not paying maybe because they don't know how. But when they enroll into the program, nakikita nila na, hindi pala yung kinita ko is kita ko na. Kasi see, usually ganyan siya, di ba? They thought all the while na yung benta mo or your revenue is your net profit. Hindi. Because your real net profit is when you pay all the expenses, including the taxes. You get it, Bong? Parang dyan natin sila na-educate also that they are accountable or responsible. And they don't know that kasi. Dun sa mga programs, that's the time they will know that. I have to pay pala like 10 to 12% of my benta, particularly to the government. And for me, just imagine this, if, in the next 5-10 years, God knows when, pag may 1 million, imagine nyo, micro-entrepreneurs, magkano yun, Bong? 3 million. Bro, 3 million, let's do the math, times 1 million, are we talking of 3 trillion revenue and just get 10%? Let's do the math. Yun ang somehow nawawala sa Pilipinas. And we know every progressive country, where do they get, di ba? Where do they get? It's from the taxes that people pay. And we're missing a lot. Pag na-educate na natin yan, yung mga micro-entrepreneurs, I think this will be a better Philippines. I mean, at least for my own opinion. That's why I'm so passionate to do this. Sabi ko nga, I'm forgetting most of my corporate accounts. I just focus on this. Di ba, Bong? Gets mo yun? Di ba? Kasi yun eh. Imagine mo, for every 3 million, there's a 300,000 tax that's the Philippines supposed to collect. Yung 300,000, mga kababay, yun na yung magtutuloy nung tulay na naputol. Di ba? Once and for all, makikita mo na, ayan, natuloy na because of a micro-entrepreneur.
Ito naman ang reality ko sa akin, even in America, this may be controversial, maybe not, ang sabihin ko. To me, syempre maraming tao din na sabihin nila, magbabayad ako ng taxes makulit yung mga rate, ganito, right? But at the end, it doesn't matter, for the government. I mean, there will be taxes collected because you did that. Nobody wants to pay taxes, let's be honest, But you have to sort of change your mindset in terms
Yes.
of that, because it's supposed to help the countries, whoever's starting a business. Because in the U.S. too, everybody, when it's time for tax returns and to be filed, everybody's always writing off things, doing this. Nobody wants to pay taxes. I get that, but you sort of, that's your way of paying forward. But just be smart in what needs to be paid. But you have to get rid of that thought process that nobody should pay or whatever, because you do. That's for the progress of the country, and that's the incentive to try to grow entrepreneurs because of that. And yun ang nakukuha sa sinasabi mo na talagang, let's teach them what the taxes do
Yes,
to
or
file
just
it
like this,
properly.
let's say in a class, in a marketing class, remember the basic marketing, four P's. This is my product, how do I price it, how do I
Mhm.
promote it, and then how I position it, something like that, right? So, doon may tuturo, like for instance, pepresyohan mo ng ganito yung siopaw mo na binibenta o yung mani. I have a case study in Japan when T.N.K. Trabaho Negosyo Kabuhayan of Philippine Trade and Industry, invited me there. And tinuturo ko, ano ba, yung pala, alam mo yung ano sila na, pag binenta ko pala, hindi pa pala, yun yung kita ko. Di ba just like any sari-sari store? Kasi naman, itinda ka ng candy, ₱5. Akala mo, yung the ₱5, buong kita mo na? No. Di ba may cost ka pa doon eh. Piso lang talaga kita mo ron. Magtatax ka pa from the piso ng 10%. So, 90 centavos lang pala. You get it? Kaya ganun eh. Parang yung minsan, I'm not saying hanggang dito na lang. Hindi dahil sa ayaw. It's not because that we don't want to pay taxes, but it's because we don't know. Kasama pala yon. That's where we're coming from.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi
Yes.
it's not about, I don't know, parang ganito eh. It's like violating any law, traffic for instance. It's not because I want to violate, but I didn't know that there's a law like that. But if you have told, bro, doon na lang ako eh. 1 million in my lifetime. Micro entrepreneurs earning, sabihin mo na nga lang, 1 million a year. Oh, the 100,000 times 1 million. Wow. We're talking of 10 billion, 100 billion, or 1 trillion in the future, in the next 10 years na. Yun yung supposedly contribution, and it gives them the confidence, hindi lang ako magbabalot. Kumbaga, I'm paying my taxes. I'm helping this country. Gets mo? Para bang yun yung gusto natin ituro. At hindi porkit magbabalot ka, magtataho ka, ang dumi-dumi na tingnan. I want it to be as, because America nga bro, di ba? Yung mga nagtitinda ng hotdog, subret. Ang ganda tingnan. Di ba? Parang very presentable. So that's the kind of uplifting that we would like to give our Filipino, kasi they're doing a good job, because instead of them getting employed, imagine mo, di ba? Nakikipagsapalaran to really do it their own. Ang tawag pa nga sa kanila, self-employed minsan, or, we just would like to tag them. That's why, very bro, ako, coming from here, sabi ko naman sa'yo, di ba, nasa America na rin kami last year. We just went back. I mean, 2 years ago, we just went back last year. I saw, a great opportunity, and we saw the gap. It's really a matter of really, like, changing their mindset, but give them a platform. Oo, wag mong biglain. Wag mong gawing technical. Wag mong gawing technically correct. Kumbaga, you just have
And
them to,
that's one thing that I like about you, John. Kasi nga marami ka nang naranasan, marami ka nang you learned a lot, and you're just trying to bring it to that level. So that's why I'm excited for our next segment. Where we talk about what you feel as the founder of the academy. Kung paano mo sasagutin yun, paano mo to create that mindset, because I know that you've been involved in a big movement. You have a lot of followers. Marami kang, a lot of your network is vast. You've learned, so all of the things that you learn and always talking to people, it's very much a hands-on experience. People tell you, people have given you wisdom and how they run their business. So ang next segment natin sa gagawin ko. So we're gonna go on a quick break again, but our next segment is, let's talk about the academy, the company, the institution that you founded, to really talk about what the academy is doing to answer that or contribute to the developing of Philippine-based entrepreneurs, and in its way to progress the Philippine economy, or the Philippines as a country, of course. So yun ang gawin natin. So the next segment yun ang gawin natin, but I'm excited to constantly have this next segment with you. So, but let's go ahead and take a quick break, and let me go ahead and see if I can find the next company that I want to go ahead and present. So this is a quick break, so we'll be right back, and hopefully I can find the next quick break. Here you go. So
A century old bank which has been in the industry providing financial solutions to every Filipino family. With a total of 717 branches and 1,589 ATMs located all over the Philippines. The bank that believes in putting its clients first and at the center of everything. Introducing the Philippine National Bank. Established as a government bank in 1916, which became fully privatized in 2007, PNB has been an instrument of economic development to this day, delivering customer-centric solutions to businesses and retail clients. PNB as a commercial bank is engaged in diversified banking activities such as deposit taking, lending, bills discounting, trade finance, foreign exchange dealings, fund transfers, remittance servicing, asset management, a full range of retail banking and trust services, and treasury operations. Internationally, PNB maintains its position as the bank with the largest global footprint.
And we're back. That was a word from Philippine National Bank. They've been on our show before talking about how to buy property in the Philippines, or rather, how to finance it through Philippine National Bank, which is located in the U.S. Now, if you just tuned in, you are watching Live at the Emporium Special Edition. The topic for this special edition is called Why Developing More Philippine-Based Entrepreneurs is the Key to Philippines Progress. And joining us today to sort of discuss it and even provide some sort of answer to that, or contribute to the thought process of how do we do that, is none other than a good friend who has accomplished so many things in trying to create the right mindset and develop a lot of Philippine-based entrepreneurs. He is from a company or organization called The Academy, and I'll have you all welcome back Coach John Petalver, the skinny guy. You know what? I just want to make a comment that I want to tell everybody. Coach John 2-3 years ago, or rather, he was heavy, so he's been on a tear trying to lose weight, and that should show you how amazing he's been. He's trying to tell me how to lose weight, and maybe I should lose at least 10 pounds. That's why I'm trying to a little bit more, taking stuff from him. Not only is he a guru in business, if you want to lose weight, you go ask this gentleman, and he'll tell you how to do that. Right, John?
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Great.
with
Yeah.
that being said, I know that was off topic, but I just wanted to mention that because I'm proud of you to be able to do that. Because to me, anytime you are out there promoting any sort of teaching, and it involves discipline, if you can lose weight, that tells you this gentleman is very well disciplined. So with all that being said, this segment now, John,
Yeah.
mag-usapan tayo regarding the academy, kung paano mo, how do you solve it? Kung
Correct.
meron kong suggestion, how is the academy addressing that, and how to build more Philippine-based entrepreneurs?
Correct. The premise basically is really asking the question, because remember, before the pandemic, I've been moving around, no, global Filipinos, let's say in Asia, in Middle East, and in North America, and in Europe. And the basic question always is, Coach John, ano po ba yung magandang simulang negosyo? For sure, even our Filipinos abroad, right? Um, that's the basic question. What's the best business? Actually, I will always tell them, any business is a good business, provided, of course, number one, you pray about it. Number two, you study everything about it, everything that you need to know. Because before you launch a product or a service, it's your brand. And every time they ask about your brand, you should have a niche or that unique selling proposition or unique strategic positioning that you have to offer. Else, wala siyang value. Pag walang value, walang benefit. No? Simple as that. So, this is how we do it. And basically, our take always is it starts with the mindset, right? Why do you want to become an entrepreneur? What is your compelling reason? Why do you want to resolve, or why do you want to solve this problem? Okay, case in point, for instance, bakit ako, let's say, magtitinda ng ganitong produkto, no? Balikan natin, magbubuko, halimbawa, bakit ako magsusupply ng or magbebenta ng buko or buko juice, etc. Because you were able to see that there's a need, no, within your community. Normally, we will say within the first 500-meter radius or 1 kilometer or 3 kilometer radius, no, i-source out mo, tingnan mo ano ba yung pangailangan. Let's say you were able to count, let's say there are about 1,000 households in that area and you feel like kailangan ng ganung produkto, no? Just like basic water station. You see, I don't know if you're aware about that. No? Pag may water station, it serves the barangay, it serves the whole community and all. That's why itong ginagawa namin, Bong, is we're very, very excited because somehow the government is now open to bring, the Philippine government is now open to bring in that kind of entrep mindset. Kasi hindi naman kaagad magnegosyo eh. But bubuksan mo muna yung isip ng mga tao na what is entrepreneurship and why become a creative entrepreneur. Why create myself as an entrepreneur? What's in it for me? Basically, of course, ang bottom line yan is you are serving the community. That's why money follows after. Diba? Kasi once you resolve a problem, that's when people begin to pay. No? Just like sa ating mga kababayan, for instance, how would you know na entrepreneur ka? Ito yung case in point. You have that kind of entrep mindset when someone asks you, oh, kabayan, can you repair an aircon, for instance? If you don't have that entrep mindset, ang sasabihin mo, no, I don't do that. But if you have that entrep mindset, which usually is what I hear sa mga kababayan when I'm outside the country or when I'm outside the Philippines, is magkano? Right? Para bang kahit feeling mo, hindi mo alam gawin, pero may entrep mindset ka, ang tanong mo is magkano? O let's say, sabihin niya, paggawa ko sa iyo ng 1,000 pesos. Okay, give me 24 hours or give me this half day lang, babalikan kita. Why? If you have the entrep mindset, you will look for the right person who can do the job. And ang gagawin mo, you will negotiate. Sabihin mo, pare gumagawa ka ba? Alam ko gumagawa ka. Can you do this for 700, 800? Sabihin niya, okay. Then you will be the one, a creative entrepreneur. You were able to create something, no, and go back to the person inquiring and say, sige, I'll take it at 1,000. So you see, even though you don't have the skills, but you have that kind of creative mindset, you will earn what? 200, 300 pesos from that deal or from the transaction. So these are the things, Bong, that we discuss. No, these are the things that we discuss in the platform. Because normally what we offer is we have master classes. Attend ka muna. We teach about marketing, branding, sales, customer service. No, the basics of setting up a business. Para may idea siya. And then after that, at your own pace, tapusin mo yon 2 to 3 months. Actually, 1 year. But if you're ready na, masabi mo sarili mo, well, I want to take this seriously. Then, next phase naman is we have a 7-week, 1 hour a week live webinar like this that we teach you na. Parang may interaction na. Then, after that, at the end of the course, ang end result mo, ang output mo is your 1-page business plan. Kasi the good thing about this, Bong, the academy and training hub, minsan kasi ang dami idea, right? There are a lot of ideas. However, they are limited because at the end of the day, wala namang popondo eh. The good thing about the academy is we partner with investors. For sure, to our dear Phil-Abs, our migrants abroad in Europe, in North America, Middle East, or even in Africa, or all the continents, may mga mag-aasa may Coach John, pag may maganda kang produkto o may maganda kang negosyo na ano, let us know ha, we will fund it. Parang may mga angel investors. Kaya lang kasi, ano ipe-present mo? Wala eh. Of course, we still want everything in writing na, sir, I have a 1-page business plan. At saka the good thing about this is dumaan ka sa The Academy. We have coaches who are really like us, entrepreneurs, we have coaches. Hindi ito yung turo lang, but this is a very experiential learning because we are not teachers, but we are coaches. Meaning to say, hands-on din kami that we have our own businesses. Kaya exciting eh. Kaya nga parang nakikita nila na ano yung horizon nila. Na dating direct seller ng food supplement, for instance, or ng mga ukay-ukay. Hindi naman pala yun ang dream business na. Pero dahil na-master niya yun, nagiging cash cow niya yung business na yun. At dun sa pondo niya, nagpatayo siya ng salon, nagpatayo siya ng pet shop. Nakita mo yun, parang hindi siya nalilimit. And that's what creative entrepreneurship is all about. And yeah, we have that kind of platform. Sabi ko nga, our proof of concept the last 2 years of the pandemic, we were able to enroll 5,000. 5,000 students, 5,000 of our kababayans. At we hope and pray na talagang, ma-meet and match namin yung investors for them para talagang maano na nila yung the business that they created. Ganun ang purpose, Bong. Parang our goal is we look at each one as a brand. Hindi lang yung parang nagbebenta ko ng real estate. No you are a realtor. It just so happen you have to create your brand because the reason why people buy from you is not because of the product, because there are a million people selling the same product. But the reason they buy from you because they see you as the brand. You are the one. You are the one we bought here. The
Well,
reason why you buy your product. Something like that, Mom.
I like your approach because you could say yourself you're professor. I like the word coach. We were talking about earlier you lost weight, ano? Siyempre merong you could
Yeah.
learn on YouTube. Pero sometimes when you have a coach,
Mm.
it's more personal and more one-on-one, and it's more encouraging because as a coach you get to teach them something about the plan because you've been there. You give them experience. You're able to give them something more tailored for them so they understand. So yun ang gusto ko, na the way you've been teaching people in the Philippines to develop that entrepreneurial mindset. So what I want to do now is I want to show maybe some parts for now, until we get to the next segment, some parts of your slides and what you
Sure.
do in the academy. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll interrupt you when we get to a certain part, and then as being called, then we'll go to the next segment. Okay. So, but let me show you then already your
Yeah,
information.
correct. So basically sa ating mga kababayan, no, siguro the question is, Coach John, what did you see? What did you see? Ano ba yung naging vision mo rito? Basically, the vision of Coach John here and the rest of our coaches is when you think of starting a business, you think of us. When you think of, let's say, what's wrong with my business or itong ginagawa ko, is this small? Is this medium na? Coach John, is this scalable? You think of us. Let's say if there's something wrong with your product or your process or your people, no? Sometimes kasi maganda yung proseso pero parang mali yung tao. So, we do the intervention. Nag-intervene na kami. Kumbaga, pumapasok na kami doon. Basically, the vision here is we want to be the learning of choice, no, amongst our kababayans. Of course, to some of us, hindi mo magagawa ito, pero yung loved ones mo rito, yung family mo rito, yan, baka pwede natin simulan. Kasi nga, ang ganda nung ginawa ng T.H.E before, yung trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan. Ibig sabihin, may trabaho ka na, diyan sa labas ng bansa, may negosyo pa yung pamilya mo rito, magandang kabuhayan. Tama nga naman, kasi kung wala kang kabuhayan, wala kang negosyo, trabaho lang, pag nawalan ka ng trabaho, bagsak ang kabuhayan. Or minsan naman, wala kang trabaho pero may negosyo ka, tinamaan yung negosyo mo, bagsak yung kabuhayan. So, maganda, no? We just support that. And our mission basically is very simple, no? We want to educate you, no? We want to equip and enable and empower you. When we talk about education, it's not really about teaching. Kasi us as coaches, um, what works for us might not work for you. What works for you might not work for us. So we are here to align. I think, Bong, that's the word. We are as coaches, we just align what happened or induce tayo ng ganito. Baka ito yung pwede mong gawin. Subukan mo. I don't know if it's gonna work. And coach, why creative entrepreneurship? Ano ba yung creative entrepreneurship? So two words, no? Two big words, creative. Ano ibig sabihin to? These are your ideas, kabayan. These are your ideas that is just waiting or that are just waiting for its God-appointed time. And pag nagkaroon na ng divine intervention, yan magugulat ka, wow. So, idea. So, when you talk about idea, walang mali, walang tama. Because it's your idea. It's like any opinion mo yan, idea mo yan. But this is where it's missing. That's why this is where we align yung entrepreneurship. The science and art of monetizing your idea that will impact change and mobility. Ibig sabihin, dapat may impact. Diba? Kasi pag may impact sa tao, napatibok mo yung puso niya, napaisip mo yan eh. Right? So, ang tendency niyan, bumili. So, may impact. Kasi kung walang impact, wala. Pag nag-isip pa yan, kaharap mo na, sa iba na yan, bibili. Right? And you have to be as mobile. Ibig sabihin talagang automated, everything in action, and all those stuff. Now, when you combine creativity and entrepreneurship, we now call it innovation. At
Yeah.
sino ang i-innovate mo rito? Hindi yung produkto. I've seen it, guys. Trust me. Years, for decades. Ang dami ko nang kinonsult na company. Pag ang in-innovate nila yung produkto o serbisyo, wala eh. Hindi nagiging sustainable. Pero pag in-innovate mo ito, Bong, yung sarili mo, yung sarili mo, yung idea mo, tapos you look at the monetizing part, now that prepares you for the VUCA. Diba? Yan yung buka, yan yung pumatay sa atin sa pandemic eh, where everything has
Oh
become
yeah.
tile, di ba?
No,
Everything is
definitely, John.
certain.
Definitely.
Di ba sabi
Yung
nila, 2 weeks lang daw, 2 weeks, naging 2 months, 2 years pala. So,
talagang yung mindset, that's you, people have to safeguard that. At now, pinapakita ko yung mga slides.
correct.
Basically, before we go to the next segment and take a quick break, 16
Correct.
seconds of break, sabihin mo where can they talk, like get more information about the academy. Yeah, lagi ko yung Facebook page mo, pero kung
Correct.
meron ka just go ahead and send. You're on Facebook, you're all over the place,
Sure,
as far
yeah.
as just either the academy or Jonathan Petalver.
Yeah, actually, they can reach us at, ano lang, coachjonathan.net. Yun lang. Tapos nun, we will be providing you with free videos, just to immerse you na ito pala yun. And then, if you ever decide na you want to enroll, just drag and click. How much lang yan? Few dollars. I think I have to check kung ano na yung naging pricing ngayon kasi depending on the packages and all. Pero very, 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 very affordable. And it's like having a coffee lang. Kasi our goal nga really is for you to really have that kind of mindset na once and for all, you see yourself as a brand. That's why dito nga, di ba, we are creating an entrepreneurial brand in you. That's the key thing there. So yeah, they can see us as coachjonathan.net. And yeah, whether again, as I mentioned, Bong, whether you are thinking of doing business or you are already in business, you already invested in business, you would like to consult with us, we can give it to you for free. Yan nga yung naka-advertise sa akin ngayon dito, Bong, sa EDSA. Sabi ko nga, do you have problems on your product movement? Di mo mapagalaw? Do you have problems with your process but parang may bottleneck along the way? Do you have problems with your people? Tinrain mo na lahat sa ibang bansa pa. Pagbalik, parang walang nangyari. Talk to us. And definitely, we guarantee you, we can see where the gap is. Again, it's a gap.
Ang
Hindi siya
gawin natin, let's
Correct.
let's recap that and
Yeah.
and talk about more about where they can find you, and then finish off your slides before we end the show. But let
Sure.
me take a really quick break, and
Sure.
let's talk about basically when we come back. I want to read something that I find interesting that would lead us, or sort of a lead on to this last segment. But for now, let me go ahead and go up, take a quick break, and let's hear something from Ayala. Okay, before we begin the next segment, I just want to read a couple of things from that same report. So, initiatives supporting entrepreneurship. The Department of Trade and Industry, through the Bureau of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, have programs that assist SMEs in developing their entrepreneurial capabilities. It's also the technological needs of SMEs are also being addressed by the Department of Science and Technology, thanks to a program known as the Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program. Last but not least, this is where I just want to have you lead into this. It says right here, among Filipino youth, a new attitude is forming. They are progressively viewing entrepreneurship as a viable alternative to employment. The supporting framework for this is slowly improving with the offering of formal academic degrees on entrepreneurship, the encouragement of industry, new graduate partnership on startups, and enhanced interest from civil societies. NGOs is supporting entrepreneurial development and activities. At the end, what I'm basically saying is what the academy, and we could go more into it before we end the show, is that you're giving an alternative to employment in terms of thinking, right? In terms of what they should consider pursuing. So, with that being said, let's continue with the slides and tell us a little bit more about the academy and how it's addressing that. As you can see, that report, you can go to Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, and that's all about the Philippines.
Correct. Yeah, maybe you want to show Bong yung ibang slides, quick lang, so at least I can brief them. There you go. So Coach John, where do we start? I mean, how did you develop. Kumbaga, ano ba yung idea? What's the real, what do you have a fact sheet for us to see, no? So where do we start? So what we have right now is we design. What it started with the design. So we design, ito yung gap ng mga micro entrepreneurs. Ito yung gusto nating mangyari sa school, students having that entrep mindset already, and we design and develop um, and facilitate somehow and teach coaches also how to do this. Teachers, even teachers in school, we are now teaching it. They're using our materials, yung videos, as a reference. Kasi the good thing about our videos, mga kababayan, it's localized. Siguro you'll be asking, the coach, we can get it for free from other sources. That's correct. Pero hindi kasi siya Philippine setting. Alam mo naman tayong mga Pilipino, di ba? Story selling, di ba? Sabi niya, it's not storytelling, but we share stories, success, failures, and all, and that's where we get the empowerment. Now, the good thing about this is wherever you are, whether you are, in North America, Europe, and all, you can access these master classes. And particularly, we focus on two things: the mindset, and we focus on the mastery and mentorship, which is that's our passion, lifelong coaching. So, we have here yung mindset na may classes tayo na makikita nila. Actually, hindi to live webinar. It's you just have to access it on your mobile phones. Mindset from ideation, and these are the 9 mastery tools. Yan, kumbaga basic entrepreneurship. All you have to understand is about marketing or branding, marketing, and sales. And this will just take you 30 minutes. There are about 9. There are about 9 3-minute videos. So that's 27 minutes. Kumbaga, in 10 minutes, you'll understand what branding is all about. In 10 minutes, you'll understand what marketing is all about. In 10 minutes, you'll understand what sales is all about. So, nakita mo, Bong, parang ano siya, sachet siya, di ba? Kasi alam mo naman ng Pilipino, sachet principle pa rin. So, for each course, or masterclass, the blue masterclass, you have an online certification. For the digital entrep masterclass, you have an online certification. And on the entrep management, you have an online certification. And once you complete this, Bong, the good thing about that is, kumbaga, you'll have an online certification in creative entrepreneurship. So, if you are our kababayan, kung sa tingin mong kailangan mo to, okay. Pero kung hindi na, somehow, you can sponsor, Bong, you can sponsor or send someone from the Philippines, to take all this. And somehow, ikaw, yun na rin yung naging tulong. That's why we are now offering scholars. Kumbaga ito, just let us know if you're interested, if you know of someone, maybe you or your loved ones, let us know, email us, send us an email, and then we'll send them this. It's free, and because we just want to understand, we just want them to understand that, you can be a creative entrepreneur today. So, paano mo yan? Para bang one way na rin of giving back to the society sa Pilipinas, itong mga ito. Now, if they're interested, then nakita nila, gusto ko na siya. Then, kumbaga, this is now their journey to becoming a negosyanteng Pinoy. Then we will teach them 7 tools to become a CEO. Ano yung CEO? Hindi yung CEO kagad sa kumpanya. Medyo heavy yun, di ba? CEO is a champion. C stands for champion, E, entrepreneur, O, online. Kasi let's maximize this automated economy. The digital economy right now is all about automation. Just imagine what we're doing now, diba? Kumbaga, we're reaching thousands or even millions as we, pag pinanood nila yung replay, may ripple effect nito. Then, we will give them a guide for startup entrepreneurs. So, 7 tools yan, Bong. Diba? Yan, yung vision, yung market, yung product, yung operations, yung technology, all these things. Ito na yung every week that they have to attend. Just spend 1 hour a week. Face-to-face tayo, live webinar tayo. And God willing, pwede na tayong lumabas, iikot na ulit si Coach John sa mga bansa, supported of course ng DTI, ng Trabaho, Negosyo, Kabuhayan Program, or whatever program that they have, Polo, OWA, susuportahan natin because we want to create that negosyanteng Pinoy, that creative entrepreneur for each and every Filipino. At least hindi man sila, di ba, makarinig man kasi it's hard to, ito bang yung parati ko sinasabi, it's hard to say no to something that you haven't heard of. Tama ba, Bong? Di ba yun ang maganda eh? Di ba? Parang wala namang nating, no harm naman kung maintindihan mo yung vision, market, product structure, strategy, all these things, operations and cash flow. At least masasabi mo, ay, wala akong oras dyan. Ay, hindi ako pwede dyan. At least, di ba, you said no to something na naintindihan mo or somehow narinig mo. So, yun siya, Bong. So, this is all that we offer. And I hope and pray talagang yung mga kababayan natin, ma-move, alam mo, ma-move din yung family nila dito sa Pilipinas, na wag na lang din magdala ng, basta magbigay ng pera, pambili ng sapatos, or nothing wrong with that, but it's really, kumbaga, sabi nga, di ba, don't just give them the fish somehow, but teach them how to fish. Sabi ko nga ba sa mga pamilya ng mga OFW natin sa Middle East, kung gusto mo nang umuwi si nanay at si tatay, parisan mo yung sinusweldo niya doon, becoming a creative entrepreneur. Diba? If they're earning 100, 200,000 a month, sabi mo, tayo na, uwi na kayo rito kasi yung negosyo na sinimulan natin, 250,000 a month na, isa na tayong micro-entrepreneur. Di ba, Bong? Di ba parang, okay, reunited na ulit, di ba? Reunited na ulit. Wow, thank you, April. Maraming salamat.
To me, ang gusto kong talagang i-emphasize na itong diskusyon na natin is that not only you've answered yung why it's important, how do we create that? Meron kang method, right? Nakita ko yung, I invited you to the show because the value that you bring is that in this day and age, we're talking internet, the technology and all of that, people I've discovered have different ways of learning different things, So, when I was growing up, syempre, you go to classroom, go to college and all of that. Ngayon, I see it in my own kids, I see it in my nephews and my nieces. Everybody learns differently. The other day, in high school, yung dryer, right? And if I didn't have YouTube, hindi ko malaman kung paano ayusin yung dryer na sira. I'm just using that as an example. So that's why it's not, to me, ang ginagawa mo, it's like you're trying to ignite the entrepreneurial spirit, and your method of disseminating that information is so easier because, maybe after going through your class, maybe they still want to go to university or whatever. Pero nakikita ko yung ginagawa mo dyan, talagang kailangan yan because everybody either has a short attention span or like they just needed some spark. Yung ginagawa mo parang spark, bro. So that's why before we end the show, magbigay ka rin ng tips on how to do that, what you think about entrepreneur, how to get it going for them, and then, a little bit more about, the academy.
Correct. Ako, I just leave 3 things. Ang ganda nito, maybe narinig nyo na ito. In fact, ito yung sales rally ko in the next few minutes. Tinatawag na ako, papanik na ako. I'm gonna kick off a company here, mga kababayan. 3 things. Number 1, of course, you need to start. And for you to start anything, you have to be committed. Commitment is key. And when you talk about commitment, visibility. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi ka visible, let's say, hindi ka gigising ng umaga sa gagawin mo, hindi ka attend ng mga meeting, hindi ka magpapakita, you're not committed. For me, Bong, commitment is about visibility. If you're really committed, you should be here. Hindi yung, especially right now, in person, di ba, face-to-face na, or sabihin mong Facebook ka lang, yung sinasabi ko kahit na, nasa webinar ka lang, magpakita ka, video. Alam mo yun, that means to say you are really committed. Kasi minsan, yung iba, offline, online na nga lang, offline pa, you get it? So, number 1 is commitment because you need it to start. Now, ano ang dulo? The dulo is consistency. You need commitment to start the business, but you need to be consistent. Ano yung consistent? It leads to mastery. Patulad dito, sabi mo nga, lang natin, off track tayo, yung pagpapayat. Ang goal ko, ang mindset ko, hindi magpapayat. Kasi kung magpapayat lang, ang babaw nun yung why mo. Ang babaw nun, ang why ko kasi as I age, I'm 50, but you know that, right? Ang goal ko is I want to see my grandchildren and really, do sack race with them, play golf with them, play basketball, jiu-jitsu, whatever. I want to stay fit. Not just magpapayat, not just to look good, whatever, to stay healthy, but I want to be fit, bro. Fit talaga. So, but I have to be committed. And along the way, for me to cross the line, the finish line, I have to be consistent. Meaning to say, day in, day out, you have to do this, you have to do this. But you see, this is the gap. May gitna Kumbaga sa may front end ka, may back end. Ano yung middleware mo? Di ba? It's all about creativity. Because time will come, lahat ng pinlano mo, it will not work. But you have to figure things out. It's like what I'm telling my children, all my children. There will be situations or setbacks along the way. Mahirap yan. Hindi yan ganun kadali maging entrepreneur. but make sure you will figure things out. But unless you are creative, kaya creativity, kumaga commitment, three things. Commitment will push you to start. Consistency will bring you to the finish. But you have to pull commitment and consistency all together. You have to be creative. Para kang tubig.
I
Diba?
before you go, because I know that you have somewhere to go. What I wanted to accomplish from this live stream, John, is that you, Coach John, is that I want to make a plea or a outreach to the Filipino Americans that are watching this now.
Please, please.
One of the things that I want to go ahead and encourage is that uh, you can encourage, you can support a lot of people in the Philippines who want to take these courses, and they're really good courses. So if you're thinking about maybe talking to John about maybe sending a relative or a friend or anybody you think has the potential to be empowered by a class like this, please go reach out to Coach John. And if you're in the U.S., that's what I'm asking you to do, because really look at these alternatives, and John is an alternative to that. The courses are not crazy expensive, but they're so impactful. So gusto kong sabihin sa mga Filipino Americans that kung gusto niyo lang itulungan, maybe a quick push or a catalyst, the course could be like that. Again, I'm not endorsing it in any way. What I am endorsing is for people to really say, okay, that's an alternative. That's affordable to me. I could do that, and might make a difference to somebody, because you never know when just anybody there in the Philippines could use that. Right, John?
Correct. Correct. Yeah, and one last word, partner. No, it's really about uh, sabi ko nga your time, no? Our time, our ability, and our opportunities are limited. So the goal really is to create a brand in you. And this is what I've been telling. In fact, after this sales kickoff, I'm going pa to another network. I'll be doing another strategic session with them. And I will tell them, unless you see yourself as the entrep leader in the workplace that you are working for, wala. Ano lang siya, rat race and wala. Because you have to change inside, right? So that the end result is the outside. That's why kung titignan mo, successful, bro. Successful businessmen that I spoke with, billionaires, bro, they will always tell me, making money is not our ultimate goal. Kumbaga, what we just want is change. And along the way, as we do that, money is coming in. So look for that thing that you think you are passionate to change. Because I believe the reason why God gave you that vision is you are the answer for that. Kaya ako bang ayokong tingnan yung EDSA na may problema kasi ayoko siyang isolve.
Yeah.
Kasi if I see it that there's a problem along EDSA, ako ibig sabihin magsusolve. Kaya ako hindi ko siya nakikita. I just enjoy driving, the good music and all. And yeah.
Everybody contributes to society in whatever way they can. Nobody expects one person to solve everything. At the end of the day, you continue to be an asset to society, and the only way you can do that is for you to be personally happy and create a purpose for yourself in
Yes.
whatever you want to do, and you're doing that. So at the end of the day, thank you so much for I know you have to go to your next interview, and that's what makes you so amazing, kasi maraming gusto yung interview ka. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to have you part of the Emporium platform. So I want you to have a good time with your next interview, and
Thank
I
you.
guess I'll let you go.
Thank you so much. Sa mga kababayan, maraming salamat po. Patuloy lang natin tandaan ano man yung plano natin gawin, pagdasal, pag-aralan, pagtrabahuhan, pagsumigasigan, sabi nga, tigit sa lahat, ipagmalaki mo. Dahil ako naniniwala, yan ang Pilipinong champion mindset. God bless you and see you in class.
Bye, John. Sige. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this special edition of the Emporium, Live at the Emporium special edition. And again, you just watched Coach John of the Academy, and the title of the edition is called Why Developing More Philippine-Based Entrepreneurs is the Key to the Philippines' Progress. You can watch this on YouTube. Visit our Facebook page, Emporium, EMPHORIUM. And check out again, if you want to watch the segment that we just had, a lot of great stuff that you should look at. And then also tomorrow at 9 a.m. Philippine time, and then 5 p.m. U.S. time in California, we're going to be doing the live demo of Philippine-made products, okay, at the Emporium, which is located, by the way, in Los Angeles. It's at 3250 Wilshire Boulevard, number 602, Los Angeles, California. So if you're currently still watching, please pass this on. Please let them know that we're doing another show tomorrow. But this is about products. We're going to be talking to November Casio Yo of Plantsville Health, and also Josephine Blackson of Tumandok Crafts Industry. They're going to be talking about Philippine cinnamon cocoa sugar and also home decors that I would say they're very innovative. And if you are a buyer, seller, retailer, please send that link. If you want to know when that'll be and you want to get the link, go to our YouTube page under Emporium, as well as our Facebook page for those watching. And thank you so much again for you just staying on and watching it. And for those who you just tuned in, thank you so much. Please continue to support what we're doing here for Philippine products. So if you're watching here in the U.S., our goal is to really, really create more opportunities and sales awareness for Philippine-made products, services, and investments, and also prepare the Philippine manufacturers so when that opportunity comes, then they're ready to go. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow.
Live in Emporium in the Philippines. I want to say magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat, and for the people in the US watching this live at the Emporium, good evening, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to at least check it out. Check us out. Emporium is a unique